Yeah, that's off the dome. Off the dome. Yeah. I never let nobody with no motion try to hold me. I'm an OG, and that's the old me. The way I'm sitting nowadays, the money stack 9 ways. I'm sipping on a latte. Why they all call me bougie? I don't want no prayers from no haters. Probably waiting on my downfall. Mad that we made it in my wins on time. Why you trying to delay it? And they say it's authentic, but they wins look plated. They fake though, and I need all my cheese. Queso, provolone, and get all of my dogs out the trap like Home Alone. And Creed said I'm locked in. I really got no options. Standing on business, I need mines off the top then. Let them go ahead and count us all out. We just running up the numbers, watch us hit another level. Hey, can't hold me back. Put the city on the map, boy, how you love that? Boy, they thought that I was playing, but I hit another level. About to hit another level, had to hit another level. Hey, hit another level. Finna hit another level, gotta hit another level. Hit another level. About to hit another level, had to hit another level. Hey, hit another level. Finna hit another level. Hey, hit another level. Hit another half meal, mixing bass and treble. Locking up the game like a Rico when it's federal. Locked on my target, it's a rap if I aim at you. You rather me pray with you. Hood, please pay attention like hood. Focus on your mission like you should. If you had some vision, then you could, but you don't, so you won't. And you chasing that life, that's good, brother.
Welcome to the Jared Briggs Show. Hope you guys are having a great day. What is it, Tuesday? God, it feels like Wednesday or Thursday for some reason. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for joining in on this live. If you join in or if you're watching this later or however you get your content, or if you're new here, welcome. We've been doing this for pretty much all this month. We missed a few days right at the 1st of January, but this is something that I've been wanting to do and something I wanted to work on, and so here we are. I got a topic that I want to talk about here. This is the problem. I did some study, did some reflecting this morning, and really sat down with my journal. I like writing in a journal. I know digital journals and all that. I like writing in a journal, and I've been having a thought lately, like, man, maybe I should dive specifically on a topic within myself, something that I really want to work on. So I was journaling about that, and then I spent some time writing about today's show, some things I wanted to talk about. And I literally asked myself a question, took a deep breath, quieted myself down and said, if I could share one message, if today was my last day that I got the opportunity to share something, what would it be? And I reflected on that for a while and came up with something that I hope is going to add value to all of your lives. So let's just get into it and talk about those things. Again, I hope you guys are having a great day. So this is the problem. Across a lot of things, and the thought that came to me was personal accountability. Personal accountability is an opportunity to take a reflection of our own personal life. I had an opportunity where I had a coach share with me that I had a habit of blaming everybody else for the things that was going on in my life, and that was a really hard pill to swallow. This person told me this. I had a conversation with my wife. She agreed, and it really kicked me back. That was one of the best lessons I had in my life, because I started realizing, like, oh, my life and your life is 100% up to you. We give other people the ability to influence or affect our life, or we take that control and that accountability back into our own personal self, and we get to dictate those things. Personal accountability is, we can sit here and blame everybody else. You can blame the government, you can blame your parents, you can blame your family, you can blame your spouse, you can blame your kids, you can blame your job, you can blame inflation, you can blame the cost of gas and groceries. Like, we can blame everything all day long, and we really can. It is an opportunity that we have. We all have our own accountability, or our own agency. We have the ability to choose for ourselves all the time. And I think that's an interesting topic right there. I'm a believer in Christ. I'm a Christian. And so I believe in God and Christ and the plan that they have for us. And one thing that I've always found interesting in the scriptures and in those topics is accountability is something that, agency is something that God will never take away from us. And that's an interesting topic in the sense of, bad things happening and people doing bad things. God will always give us our agency. We have the ability to choose for ourselves. So personal accountability, I broke it down into 3 things: time, effort, and focus. When I was, like I told you, I was reflecting and writing in my journal, I was like, okay, time, effort, and focus. And I'm going to read you what I wrote right here for time. What you do daily. Our time daily. We have 24 hours every single day. How many is that in a year? I can't quite remember. So 24 times 365, that's $8,760 or dollars. Money, right? 8,760 hours in a year. 8,760. So every single day, we get 24 hours. We get that time to choose for ourselves. Are we going to be efficient? Are we going to waste time? Are we going to be productive? Are we going to play video games? Are we going to just watch TV? Are we going to sit on social media? We have the ability to dictate our own time. And I'm not going to say social media and video games and TV, they're not bad. You guys, I enjoy all of those things. I haven't played video games for a while, but once in a while I enjoy playing a game on my phone. I enjoy playing, Xbox and Call of Duty or whatever. I enjoy playing those things with people. But time, we get to dictate our time. Like, did you wake up early? Did you wake up late? Did you go to bed early? Did you go to bed late? Did you wake up and then just waste 2, 3, 4, 5 hours? Our own personal accountability is 100% up to us. Time, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Every single one of us. One thing that I've always been impressed by is there's a lot of successful people that do post on social media and create a lot of content that is valuable. And I love listening, reading, watching these people. And it amazes me. There's, some people running multiple different companies or one very successful company, and they still have time to spend with their family, and they go on vacations, and they spend the evenings and the mornings and the weekends and, whatever their situation is. And it always amazes me. I'm like, man, how are they running a X number company and they still have time to do all those things? Like, what is it that they know that I don't know? Have you ever thought of that for yourself? What is it that they know that I don't know? You see, there's the personal accountability. Because if somebody else has been able to accomplish it and achieve it, so can you. Not one person on this earth is better than you are. Now, somebody might be better at some specific thing. I'm never going to challenge Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Steph Curry or Anthony Edwards. I'm never going to challenge them to a game of basketball because they will destroy me. I mean, they could give me a million tries, and there's probably, I might be lucky to score, let alone win the game, okay? But that doesn't mean they're a better person than me, because everybody has their own talents, skills, and abilities. What are your talents, skills, and abilities? What are those God-given talents that it comes to you easily? I always have envied people that school comes to them really easy. They're able to retain knowledge, comprehend really well, and everything's for a reason, right? I'm not good at those things for a reason. But I've always thought it's so incredible. My daughter is this way. She's 4 years old right now, and we are reading chapter books to her, and she'll comprehend the names of the people, the names of the kids, the name of the animals. And I'm like, how can she do this? I struggled up with that at 10 years old. She is very smart in those things, okay? What are your God-given talents and abilities? What comes to you naturally? What comes to you easily? Are you giving time and effort and energy to those things? Okay, there's a lot of basketball players. I like basketball. There's a lot of basketball players. They worked very, very, very hard to get where they got, but they also had a little bit of God-given talent, skill, and ability. That was their place. They enjoyed waking up and working extremely hard at those things. It wasn't work to them. What isn't work to you? What is it that you are giving time, attention, and energy to that is going to benefit you in your true life's dreams, goals, and passions? Take some personal accountability in your time. I don't know why, but I've got this thing. I feel guilty if I watch too much TV. There's just something like if I watch too much TV or videos or spend time on social media and I feel guilty, and sometimes I'll still push through it. And I'm like, no, I'm in control. And I need to listen to that intuition and that guidance of, hey, you should be productive with your time. You know, there's nothing wrong with watching a show or enjoying those things, but there's too much of a good thing can turn into a bad thing. So in that personal accountability, the first thing that I wrote down was time. Time is very valuable. It is like the only thing that is like true value. Because we can sit here and talk about gold and silver and money and crypto and all these things that we have in this world. But time is the only thing. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how valuable you are, how talented, how skilled, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You cannot buy back your time, ever. Time is such a valuable asset that we have. Okay, the next section that I looked at in personal accountability that came to my mind was effort, taking action. That is literally what I wrote down next to it right here in my journal, taking action. What effort, what action are you taking even in the smallest way? I love fly fishing. I've really enjoyed fly fishing, but I've never gotten way into it. It's just something that I've done throughout my life. But here lately, I'm like, man, this is something I really enjoy. Like, I want to buy a new fly pole and all these things. I've been putting a ton of time and effort into learning more about fly fishing. And I've been taking action. I've been using AI. I've been using research. I've been using websites. I've been asking questions. I've been getting on Facebook and asking questions. I've learned more about fly fishing in the last 2-3 weeks than I have in my whole life. Like what flies to use when, what type of fish like these type of flies, what type of leader and line. And I mean, there's so much information. I'm like, wow, I never realized there was this much information in fly fishing. I've found that to be true in so many other areas. I heard a video the other day. I seen a video. They said, what was it? I think if you spend 15 minutes a day for a whole year, you are now considered an expert on that topic, because not very many people spend that much time on learning anything. And that's an interesting topic there, because think about finances, money, investing, growing. Very few people actually take the time to understand how investment accounts work and how interest works and how banks work and all those different things. We have a very, 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 very basic, generic knowledge around money. Well, what if money, your desires, your goals, your dreams, your passions, your career, what effort are you truly giving in the direction of those things? And I mean in the sense of taking action in a specific direction or an area. And that action is going to include time, like daily, weekly, monthly, whatever the topic, whatever the thing it is that you're trying to learn or do. How much action are you truly taking in that direction? If you are struggling financially, how much action have you taken and time spent in the direction of learning more about money? What is money? Like, truly, what is money? Like, why the frick do we have $1, $5, $10, $20? Why do we have money, gold, silver, crypto, banks, interest, compounding, life insurance, 401ks, annuities, all these different financial tools and resources? I mean, if you spent even an hour using Google, using AI, using Facebook, using websites, using books, the Webster Dictionary, all of these things, like what if you spent an hour every single month for a year? So that would be every single month, that would be 12 hours in a year, and you studied the topic of money. You would have a better knowledge and understanding than the large majority of people in the United States of America. Because most people haven't even spent 10 hours in their lifetime studying money. So taking account of, personal accountability, time, what do you do daily? Effort, taking action. What action have you truly taken to understand and learn more on the topics of the things that you want to be better at? The next thing is focus. And I put focus down is because what you focus on will happen. What you focus on will happen. What you focus on expands. Where you put your energy and your effort is the results you're going to get. That's why it's said so much that the people you hang around is who you will become, because there's a focus there. You are focusing and retaining knowledge, ideas, thoughts. Have you ever been in a good mood? Have you ever been like, oh man, I'm just going to crush it. Like, I feel like everything I touch is going to turn into gold and I'm going to win and I'm having a great day. And then all of a sudden you get around somebody that's just like, it's blue. Or you come across a video on social media that's complete negative. Or you see something on the news and it changes your morale. It changes the way you see the world and the way you're feeling and experiencing the world. It can happen in a blink of an eye. That's why it's so important that what you focus on, the people you hang around, the information you read, the things you listen to, the advice you take and the advice you ask for, it has a direct reflection on the results you have in your life in every direction. In every single direction. What you focus on will expand. What you give time, effort, energy, and attention to is what the results your life is going to be and what your life is going to have and the life you're going to experience. I hear it all the time when people say, oh, I could never afford that. Well, that's your focus. You're focusing on, I'll never be able to. That's your focus, and your world is manifesting those things. There's so much disbelief about, people are like, oh, that's just voodoo, hip hop, rah stuff. And I'm here to tell you guys, there's something to it. I truly believe taking personal accountability, understanding your time, your effort, and your focus. How much time are you putting towards things? Are you spending more time with people that are not going anywhere in life? And if that's people's decision, great. We all have our own accountability. We all have our own agency. If you have no desire to win at a big level, that's great. I choose not to also experience in that. So I'm going to limit my time, my effort, and my focus in that person, in that community, in that information, in that environment. And the opposite is also true. If you desire to have more personal accountability, if you desire to win more, if you desire to be more successful, then surround yourself around the people that are doing the same thing. The very best people you can get around and spend time with, get around those, and then challenge yourself to level up even more. That is one beautiful and cool thing about the world we live in today, and that I would share with you is such a positive thing because of social media, because of TV, because of AI, because of the internet, because of books, because of podcasts, because of all these things. It is a foot in the door. It gives you an opportunity to learn from people and hang around people and experience and learn from people that, 50 years ago, unless you had the money or the resources or the opportunity to get in the room that they were in, you couldn't get in that room, and nothing was recorded or written or said, or, and maybe there were people writing books. But nowadays, people are taking microphones and phones and cameras and all these different things, and they're sharing it with the world. There is so much information on YouTube and all of these other platforms that if you don't have the resource or the KNOW, where and when and why and how to go get this information, you can get on podcasts. You can get on YouTube. You can get on Facebook. You can buy books. You can buy audiobooks. And it's a foot in the door. Okay, you might not be physically in the room. You might not be physically there asking them questions and learning from them. But it gives you an opportunity to improve yourself based on their knowledge, their information, their experiences. Okay, and not everybody's perfect. Not everybody has the perfect advice or information. There's a lot of fluffy stuff out there. There's a lot of really good stuff out there. You have the opportunity and the accountability and the agency in yourself to decipher that for yourself. There's going to be people you really vibe with and you love their lifestyle, and there's going to be people that you don't. Doesn't mean their information is right or wrong, indifferent. It just you don't vibe with it. There is a specific genre of people that I vibe with and that I like. I like the more straightforward, get to the point. You know, if you tell me you're just being a freaking pansy, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. You know, and some other people, they don't like that. That's okay. Get in the room any way you can, because the time, the effort, the focus, that is going to have more influence on your life than anything else. The people you hang around, the books, the things that you're reading, the things that you're listening to, the conversations you're being a part of. That is one thing that is very, very apparent to me, is there's times I will have conversations or be a part of something. I'm like, man, I just got to remove myself from this. And I will. I'll walk away, go into a different room, leave the event completely, shut off the video. There's even been movies where people are like, oh, it's a really good movie. And it just starts messing with my inner vibes. I'm like, man, I can't watch this. I've literally stopped watching TV series or shows or movies or YouTube videos because I can just feel this inner feeling. I'm like, something's not right here. It's going to throw me into a mental funk. I need things that are going to uplift me. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's so many people online that's like, oh, it's easy to make a lot of money. It's easy. I haven't figured that out yet. I honestly haven't. I'm like, how are they doing it easily? Because it doesn't feel easy. Every time that I go to make a new, to hit a new level in my life, I'm like, why is this so freaking hard? You know, a lot of people say the first million is the hardest. The first 100,000 is the hardest. Man, I freaking agree. And maybe that's a program. Maybe that's something I need to learn and listen from. And I need to take a step back. That's actually what this journal thing this morning was, because I'm like, hey, you know, there's some things right here that I want to work on. I'm actually going to read something to you. Working more hours will not make it happen. Working harder won't make it happen. Creating and adding value will make it happen. How do I add value to people? Financial life coaching. I also desire to unlock the current opportunity around me. Okay, right, it was right above that. So I was writing some things that I desire, and I say, how do I achieve this effortless? I've been reading and listening to the book Effortless, and I'm like, what am I missing? Why am I making it harder than it really needs to be? And so I'm like, I was journaling, trying to get some emotions and some thoughts and some feelings and some insight of like, why am I making it this so much harder than it needs to be? Okay, personal accountability. You guys, I'm the problem. In my own personal life, I'm the problem. I'm the reason why I'm not making the amount of money I desire. I'm the reason why my business is stuck where it is. I'm the reason why my time is not being 100% as good as it could be. I'm the reason why my effort could be better, the action that I'm taking. I'm the reason why the things I'm focusing on is maybe causing conflict or struggle. I'm the reason. I'm the problem. Now, this is in my own personal life. The great part about taking personal accountability is understanding that once you realize you're the problem and you have all of the control with what is happening in your life, to you, for you, around you, everything, it's your problem. And once you realize that, you realize, oh man, I'm the problem. And I have the ability to change that. So if I'm the problem now, why don't I change that? Because if I'm blaming everybody else, if I'm blaming the president, if I'm blaming my boss, if I'm blaming my family, if I'm blaming my upbringing, if I'm blaming the amount of money that I have, they have the power. The money has the power. The president has the power. The economy has the power. Everything and everyone and every situation, the time, the effort, the focus, all those things have the power. And it has power over me. And life is going to continue to dictate everything in your life. Whatever life throws at you is what's going to happen because you've given the power to life. Unforeseen events. You just got a flat tire. You can blame the screw that was on the side of the road, or you can be like, oh man, I'm the one that decided to drive down this street, or I'm the one that didn't wake up on time and have good effort and focus and get out the door on time. And so therefore I was rushing or did this or did that. And then you start learning like, holy crap, I have the ability to make decisions for myself in every area of my life. That personal accountability, that personal focus. You guys, that's the problem. This is the problem in the United States of America. On the news, on social media, everyone is blaming everybody else. Everybody. We're all doing it. We're all blaming everybody and everything in every situation and every president and every political thing that happens and every financial market crash and every time oil goes up or oil goes down or gas goes up or gas goes down or groceries or this or that, or like it's everybody else's fault. We the people built America. So if we're struggling, there's no jobs, or I hate my career, or I hate my life, or I'm not making enough money. Whose fault is it? There's no lack of jobs. There's no lack of income. There's no lack of opportunity. There's actually a lack of people producing. There's a lack of businesses. There's a lack of people creating and innovating opportunity. That is one thing that I would just love to grab every young person and shake them. The world needs you. All the people in their 30s, 20s, and teens, the world needs you so bad right now. But we are stuck hiding behind the veil of what our grandparents and our parents have taught us and told us. We've been taught that we're idiots and that we're lazy and we don't know anything because we don't know how to drive a stick shift. Or that all we do is use our computers and our TVs and our phones and da-da-da-da-da-da. The world needs you to take the talents, the skills, the abilities, the information. You see the world in a different way. I'm talking to the young generation at this moment. You see things in a different way. You need to instill a tiny bit of courage. Everybody says it takes money to make money. I don't believe that. I believe it takes courage. Because there are so many industries and incredible companies and businesses and innovation and inventions that have happened with no money. People just had a little bit of courage. I mean, look at Apple with Steve Jobs, Microsoft, the oil industry, the electrical industry, power, solar panels, all of these different things. You guys, those industries didn't exist. They were non-existent at one time. It's not like some company came about and said, hey, we've got $20 billion. We're going to invent electricity. That didn't happen. Somebody had the thought and the idea, and they took the resources and the knowledge and the dreams and the desires, and they had a little bit of courage, and they took a step forward. They didn't care what everybody was saying around them. I'm sure it hurt. I'm sure it hurt a lot, but they had courage. And they kept taking a step forward. And then finally somebody's like, man, this is cool. I want it in my house. And it was installed in their house. And then everybody come over and they thought it was demons. And I mean, go watch the show, The Men Who Built America. It's crazy. The railroad system, gas, oil, electricity, steel, metal. When they first started creating steel, nobody trusted it. And there's something that where an elephant, they have like a crazy sense of if they can trust something or not. So they built this bridge using steel across like a river. And they heard that elephant, because nobody would go across it. They thought it would collapse and they'd all die. And they heard that elephants had this like crazy intuition. So they brought an elephant and walked an elephant across, and the elephant trusted it. And then the steel industry exploded. We started building skyscrapers. Like the world changed because of steel. Those people didn't have everybody supporting them. They didn't have billions of dollars backing them. What is going to continue to improve and make America the greatest country on earth is the young generation continuing to innovate, continuing to make progress forward. You guys, electricity, technology, artificial intelligence, they're all tools and resources, just like the tractor, just like oil, just like electricity. All of these things are tools. Are we truly using all of these things, or are we just scared of what it's going to do? We are trying to hold on to what used to be. The next wave of thriving in the United States of America is going to be the younger generation and their inventions, their ideas, their thoughts, their processes. It's going to cause America to explode. It's going to cause the world to explode. Technology is a good thing. It's a resource. Everything's always going to be used for good and bad. But are we taking these things and are we using them for good? I share these things with you because you have greatness inside of you. I truly believe that you have greatness inside of you. And I hope you take personal accountability. I hope you take your time, your effort, your focus, your energy, and put it towards those things, to improve those things, and to get better at those things. Looks like we're having a camera problems again. Dang cameras. All right. I want to go on to step number 2. And this is what I call the money reset. And I share this with you because if money is holding you back, we've got to remove that. We've got to get better in that. The money reset is a very simple process that is going to make you organized with your money. It is going to put you in control of your money. It's going to help you become a steward of your money, where you're telling your money what to do instead of money telling you what to do. If you always feel like, man, where's all my money going? What is happening with my money? You know, there's more month than money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. There's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. You need the reset, the money reset. We're going to briefly go over this. Step number 1, and the next thing, or the step number 3, this whole process is to help you increase your income. You can spend your life trying to save money. Yesterday during the live, somebody asked a question where they said, my rent just went up $200. I was already tight on money. Now it went up $200. What the freak do I do? That is the problem with inflation and money and saving and cutting expenses and living on a budget. The hard part with that is inflation is going to continue to happen. Cost of living, expenses, everything is going to continue to rise. It has every year, as long as the freaking United States of America has existed. I mean, don't you love hearing the stories of your grandparents and people are like, oh my heck, when I was a teenager, I could take $5. I could fill up my car. I could take my girl out on a date. We could go to dinner. We could go to the dance afterwards, and I'd still have $1.25 left over. And you're like, freaking heck. You could do all that on $5? You can't even go to the gas station for $5 and get a drink and a candy bar. It's always happening. And so I love step number 3. Now, maybe it doesn't fit everybody's situation because maybe you're in your job and your career and there's no way you can increase your income. Then you need to be really good at step number 1 and step number 2. But for those of you, I realized this really quick. I'm like, man, I can only cut my expenses so much. You know, it's not like I can't heat my house this month. It was -4 degrees yesterday when I woke up. I can't just be like, sorry, kids, we don't have the, you know, we're going to cut our gas bill. We ain't going to heat our house this month. We can only cut out so many things. I mean, you can literally get down to the bare necessities where you have food, water, and shelter. What happens when cost of that goes above your income? you're up a creek without a paddle again. Okay, so this step right here, the money reset, is for the purpose of helping you increase your income. And maybe it not even be within your job, but what about your investing, your saving, your interest, your compounding? Could you create a better strategy there to where you grow the money you do have? If you're capped at $120,000 a year or $80,000 a year or $50,000 a year, whatever it is, if you're capped, but you don't want to leave your job because you love it, great. Let's get really good at step number 1 and step number 2. Step number 1 is you need to know your income. You need to know this in detail, exact to the penny, how much it is that you're collecting every single month or week or bi-weekly, whatever your situation is. And the reason why is because if you're like, oh, I make, like $4,300 a month, but then it's actually $4,500 a month, that's $2,400 a year. Where's that $2,400 going? Even if it's an extra $10 a month, that's $120 a year. That's $1,200 over 10 years. Every penny matters. Every dollar matters. Every $100 matters. They all have an opportunity to grow, compound, and make your life better. So you need to know your income, step number 1. Step number 2 is creating a plan. Specifically, what is your plan? What is it you truly desire and want when it comes to your finances? Step number 1 is know your income. That is included in your plan. You know your income. Then, what are your fixed expenses? The ones that stay the exact same every single month. Then the next part is, what are your variable expenses? What are the things that change? Your gas bill, your electric bill, your water bill, groceries, gas in your car, maintenance, all the different things that it's like, man, I do this on a regular and I'm paying for this on a monthly, but it changes. One month it might be $90 and next month it's $120. Or in the summer, my power bill's this, and in the winter, my power bill's this. It fluctuates, but it's still important to know and calculate those things on a week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis so you understand, okay, I'm bringing in this much. I've got this much going to my fixed expenses, this much going to my variable expenses. That right there will put you in an opportunity so you know where your money's going. It puts you in a position of tracking. You're like, hey, holy crap, we've got this subscription, or we've got this thing that we're doing. Holy cow, I didn't know this much was being held out for this kind of insurance, or this, or this, or this. Maybe we need to relook at this. Maybe we need to shop this. Maybe we need to X, Y, and Z, because that is a smart thing to do. Now, you're never going to create wealth by only doing those things, but by understanding your plan and where your money is going, yes, $30 a month going to something is $30 a month. That's $360 a year. That is $3,600 over 10 years. And the math continues. I mean, over your lifetime, that's going to get into the $10,000, $20,000 range if you continue to just not pay attention where your money is going and what your money is doing. So that plan of understanding your income, your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, now we can create desires, goals, and dreams. What is it that you truly want in your life? Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you've got some credit card debt and student loans and a bunch of things that are holding you back currently at the moment. Great. Let's create a plan and a strategy so that you are in control of those things, so you know where your money is going and what it is doing. The next thing, this ain't a budget. This isn't get out of debt. This isn't any of those things. This is, let's create a wealth creation plan. We're not going to create a system where we give our money to everybody else. There's a really good book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And the whole concept in there, I think the most important is paying yourself first. In your financial plan, are you paying yourself first? Or are you just giving your money to everybody else? The credit card companies, the utility companies, the mortgage companies, the car loan companies, the banks. You get paid, you work your butt off, and then you give your money to everybody else. Well, why not start paying yourself first? That is why if you do have debt, if you're trying to get on top of your finances, that's great. Let's get rid of those things. But remember, what you focus on expands. Remember, personal accountability, focus. What you focus on will happen. If you focus on debt, you're going to get more debt. If you focus on creating wealth and abundance and financial peace and financial freedom and financial, just like the ability to live life without money telling you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Let's focus on that. So if you do have negative things that are holding you back, great. Let's create a plan where we dump all of our money into this plan, and then we pull out of that plan and apply it towards debt. We can talk about that, okay? Maybe you want to go on more vacations. Maybe you want to have more fun. Maybe you enjoy going out to eat. Maybe having a new house or a new car or anything is important to you. There is a way to accomplish all of it. There is a way to accomplish all of it. I don't believe in this. You have to live on nothing and you can't have anything. And no, there's a way for you to take care of everything you've got going on, be really good, and enjoy at the same time. You work your butt off. So why not enjoy it at the same time? So we're gonna create that in our plan. Hey, we're gonna put this much towards enjoyment. We're gonna put this much towards creating wealth, which we need to remove all this debt first, but we're gonna focus on creating wealth. We wanna invest, we wanna grow, we wanna start earning interest, we wanna buy real estate, we wanna start a business. Whatever your strategy and goal and plans and dreams and desires are, let's create a plan for those things. Okay? So you know your income, you know your fixed expenses, you know your variable expenses. Now let's start creating buckets where we put money into, where you pay yourself first. Okay, you pay yourself first, and then you tell your money where to go and what to do. And then step number 3, we increase income. Now, like I said, if you're in a position, a job, or a career where it's not as easy to increase your income, all right, let's get really good at step number 1 and step number 2. Where you're putting money for retirement, is that the best? Is that honestly the best thing for you? Have you really studied that? Are you getting the greatest return on your money? Is it compounding, earning interest? Are the ups and the lows benefiting you? Have you studied banking? Have you studied interest? Have you studied all these things? Because step number 1, step number 2, those alone can help you create financial independence. But maybe you are capped on your salary, but maybe you could remove things from your life. Hey, you've got this boat sitting there that you freaking never use that's worth $15,000. Let's get rid of that thing. And if we really want to go boating and water skiing, we could just rent it for the weekend, even if it costs you money. Like, really look at your life. Or maybe you are in a position where you're in sales, or you own your own business, or you can change careers, whatever, and you can increase your income. I would like to challenge everybody. Everybody has talent, skills, and abilities that you could make money on the side, whether it be online, whether it be offering a product or a service, doesn't matter. There are so many things that you could do to earn extra money. Are you doing those things? Are you being efficient with your time, your effort, and your focus? Because step number 1 and 2 is going to make you more money anyway. But if you have the ability, instead of focusing on cutting, let's flip the mindset and start focusing on increasing. Am I investing in the very best place? Have I learned enough about money? Am I being efficient with where our money is going and what it is doing? Maybe over here it's earning this, but in a different tool and resource, it could earn more. So that is the money reset. Those are 3 steps to taking control of your finances, being a steward of your income, and increasing income. Be the master of your money. Tell your money what to do. The majority of you all are letting money tell you what to do. You open your bank account and there's nothing, and you're like, gosh dang it. Okay, start telling your money what to do and where to go. That system right there, step 1 and 2, puts you in the driver's seat, puts you in control. Now you know where your money is going and what it is doing. All right, we're going to jump to the questions. These are some questions online that I came across. I didn't read the full question. I just read the heading, and we're going to go into this. This has been fun, so let's do it. Let's do it to it. What financial mistakes do people regret most in their 30s? What do you think is the biggest financial mistake people make in their mid-30s, and why? Career stagnation, fear of risk, lifestyle inflation, or not planning ahead. God, that's a good question. What financial mistakes do people regret most in their mid-30s? You guys, I turned 32 here pretty quick, and I'll tell you one thing that I look back on in the last 3 years that I regret the most is buying brand new vehicles. I bought during COVID time. There wasn't a lot available. Everybody was buying vehicles, and I don't know why, but I guess I just had this, it's got to be brand new. They depreciate so fast. And I learned my lesson. I'm glad I learned it. I was in my 20s when I did that, my late 20s when I made those decisions. And now I'm like, man, I'm going to look for vehicles, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30,000 miles, get them with that depreciation. One thing I do hate, though, is I hate mechanic bills. I'd rather have a car payment than mechanic bills, because mechanic bills, your car sits at the shop for a week and you're still making a payment on. I hate that. So I like the warranties. I like those different things. I like to not have to be paying for the vehicle and for mechanical bills. So it's like, where's that happy medium? And I think you can still buy brand new vehicles, but I think there's a smart way to do it and a smart way not to do it. So that's one thing that that I learned, that I regret. I'm glad I made those mistakes early on. I have plenty of time to correct them. Another thing is I wish I invest heavily in my wife and I's retirement plan. We are completely non-traditional. We don't put money in 401ks or IRAs or any of those different things. But when I first started learning about the system that we invest money into, I was like, okay, I believe in it. And then we did it, and I wish I was studied it a little bit harder and learned a little bit more and used it quicker and started putting more money into the system faster. But we started putting money into the system, but I wish we would have done it quicker. So that is one thing I wish we would have studied a lot sooner, but learn from it and move on, right? All right, here's another question. Just curious, those who didn't max out all the time or did what you could afford, were you still able to catch up? I keep hearing from my dad nonstop, did you max a 401k in your Roth yet? This is a pain. $24,500 is 16% of each pay stub, and then having to save an extra $7,500 just to do backdoor. When I'm trying to save up for the other goods, I guess what I'm getting at is, did you ever regret not maxing out retirement accounts when you should or could have? Nope. I never have. I've never maxed out a Roth IRA or a 401k or traditional IRA or a mutual fund. None of those things. I've never maxed those things out, and I'm so glad I never did. I've never regretted that ever in my lifetime. That's personally my opinion, my thought, but I've never regretted that. Not even once. Here's an interesting thing. You guys, I really like life insurance. So there's a question right here. Cancel whole life policy, ? I paid 9 out of 10 years. I have a whole life insurance plan with insurance carrier that my mom urged me to get almost 10 years ago. It's a 10-year pay plan, and I'm at year 9. You're right there. Chalk it up to miscommunication or whatnot, but I was under the impression if I cancel early, I wouldn't lose the money I put in, so I thought I had to pay my insurance policy in full so I can get my money back. I realized that is not now true. Yeah, but you're going to lose everything that you built. Coverage, $100,000 face value. Cash value is $20,000. It grows with a 5% return annually. Borrowed $18K. Do I need to pay it back? I'm paying interest on it. Premium, $2,400 a year, so $200 a month. I'm 40 years old, healthy, no family history of cancer, and have $140K in brokerage and another $140K in retirement accounts. My work pays for term life insurance. You guys, term life insurance is a good thing for a time, but you're 40 now. When you quit, okay, this is the problem with company term life insurance. The day you quit is the day you lose your life insurance. It is really cheap when you get that life insurance through a job. Super cheap. But when you quit or retire, you are going to have zero life insurance. If you're like, hey, I want to go buy life insurance on myself, I want a 20-year term, and you're 65, that's 85. It's going to cost you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Only 97%, only 3% of all term life insurance is ever claimed. So you are guaranteed, or you have a 3% chance of ever getting your money back on that policy. Now, I like term life insurance. I have term life insurance on myself because I can get a really large benefit amount for a very low premium. But if you do that for the rest of your life, every 10, 15, 20, 30 years, do a new policy, your premium is going to double, if not triple, every time you buy that. So you're going to put, I've ran the numbers before. People can put upwards of $40,000 to $80,000 into a term life policy and never get a penny back out of it. So think of that over your lifetime. If you put $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 into a policy, what if you would have taken that money and put it into something that would guarantee get you a benefit back? I have one child. She is 4 months old. My sister is my beneficiary. I really resented the fact that I have whole life insurance and I wouldn't have invested the money in the market instead with that money. But now my plan is almost paid up and I can't go back in time. What is the smart money move from here on out? Appreciate your response. The problem here is you bought the wrong whole life insurance policy. A properly set up whole life insurance policy, that face amount should have continued to grow. And after that 10-year time frame, you never put another penny into it and it continues to grow death benefit and cash value. So your agent sold you the wrong policy. That is the problem there. Okay, $40K in credit card debt. I don't know what to do. Preface, not making excuses, but life was shitty. Lost my job, major health issues. Wow, that is, I feel so bad for people with health issues. Job change, 40% pay cut, and more. LOL. It's been a lot, but ready to take things back. There's the mindset. I like that. Hi, in advance, any advice is greatly appreciated. I'm about $42,000 in credit card debt, truly just accumulated from poor spending habits and trying to survive with health issue in the past 12 months. I drained my savings, so I barely have a cushion. I started a new position and ready to tackle this debt. I'm 28. Oh, damn, you're young. So I'm okay with spacing things out, but I cannot afford these minimum payments. I'm on financial relief programs for my 3 highest balances, and one of them I have a 0% APR, but just my minimum payments are $950 a month. Holy flip. What is the best way to handle this? I cannot afford to live paying $950 a month at my current salary. I reached out to a nonprofit debt relief, but they were unable to get my payments lowered. Any help or guidance is appreciated. Oh, man. God, that's tough. $42,000 in credit cards. Here's your option. You either file bankruptcy or you figure it out. I don't know about you guys, but bankruptcy is in my opinion, bankruptcy is the only option if my family's about to go hungry. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going to file bankruptcy. But until then, camera hasn't been working. Until then, you got to figure something out. Your income, you had a 40% pay cut. I don't know what your income is here. There's always things you can do. Always, always, always. I would create a spreadsheet, whatever, your income, your expenses, and I would remove every unnecessary thing you can completely. And then everything extra, I would start paying into an account labeled wealth creation. Because if you create a habit of giving all of your extra money to debt and credit cards and all these other places, that's what you're always going to get. You're going to create a habit and a focus of giving your money to everybody else. But let's create a specific place where you put money every single month. So you make that minimum payment of $950. Every extra penny goes into this other account. And every time it has X amount of dollars, you pull all of it out and apply and continue and continue. What are some things you can sell? What are some things you can do? On your time off, could you go work for somebody else? Could you mow lawns? Could you clean, detail cars? Could you clean windows? Could you learn something online where you're making money online? Like, what can you do? I mean, if you increase your income by 1,000, by 1,500, you're going to have that debt paid off super quick. You're making the payments and you're moving on. I would create a strategy where you pour money into an account. Every time the account gets to 2, 3, 4, 5,000, you pull out all of it and apply. Or I would pull out like 90, 95% of it, so you never leave yourself in a position without any money. You know, maybe you need $500, $1,000 for emergencies or oh crap, especially if you're 28, you're single, you don't have a lot of expenses. $1,000 emergency fund is what I would operate on. Everything above that, you know, every time it gets to 2, 3, 4, 5 grand, I would pull every penny out except $1,000 and apply to that $42,000. And the thing that's going to help you get out of this is you got to get disciplined with your money. You got to know your income. You got to know your expenses. You got to know where your money's going. And then you focus every ounce of energy, effort, time, focus towards increasing your income. That is the question you start asking. How can I make another $1,000 a month? And then you do that and you're like, well, if I can make 1,000, how do I make 1,500? Well, I made an extra 15. How do I make an extra 2,000? How do I make an extra 3,000? How do I make an extra 4,000? Whatever you can do, how can you make more? And you start looking. I guarantee you have things laying around that you don't use anymore. Freaking sell them on Facebook Marketplace. Take that money and apply it. Get on Facebook Marketplace. Get on KSL. Get on all these different places or post something on Facebook. Literally create a video. Hey, guys, I've put myself in a position that I've learned a lot, health issues, job changes, a lot of different things. It put myself in a tight financial position. I'm looking for opportunities to collect more income. I'm looking for an opportunity to make an extra $500. I'm looking for an opportunity to make an extra $100. Here's my skills. Here's my talents. Here's my abilities. But anything you have outside of that spectrum, I'm willing to learn and work hard at. And you get to work and you go after it like crazy. Bankruptcy is the last thing that I would do. All right. Stopped tracking every expense. Here's what actually worked. For years, I logged every transaction. Coffee, groceries, subscriptions, everything went into a spreadsheet or app. That's pretty cool. You know what it got me? Guilt and anxiety. I'd see I overspent on food and feel terrible. Oh, you guys, that's why I hate budgets. Budgets literally create limitation. Budgets literally create guilt and anxiety and frustration and scarcity. Even though my bills were paid, I was saving and actually changed my finances, forward-looking budgeting. Instead of asking, where did my money go? I started asking, what's coming up and will I have enough? I map out my income and committed expenses. Bingo! Income and expenses. Income, fixed, and variable expenses. You got to know those things. Then see what's actually left for goals and discretionary spending. Now I know months in advance if there's a problem. Amen. You plan for it. You create a plan. Hey, I'm going to put this much money towards an emergency fund. I'm going to put this much money towards spending. I'm going to put this much money towards positive things, good things, vacations, blah, blah, blah. Anyone else made this shift from tracking to forecasting? I would be careful with forecasting because you don't want to forecast an emergency. You don't want to forecast medical bills. You don't want to forecast debt. You don't want to forecast scarcity or limitation or frustration or, if I lose my job, you're forecasting that. You're attracting it into your life. But you have options. Hey, if something happens, I'm good, but I'm focused on the good part of life. I'm focusing on expanding. I'm focusing on increasing. So that's pretty cool. Curious what tools and methods work for you. That is a really, really cool conversation right there. Trying to get my finances under control. Here's the last question. Bada bing, we're right at an hour. I'm trying to be more responsible with my money. I don't overspend on big things, but small purchases add up. Oh, we did this one yesterday. It must not have removed. Anyway, and I don't really notice until it's too late. I've never been good at budgeting or tracking expenses. I want a simple system. Create a plan. Create a plan, create a plan, create a plan. You need to know your income. You need to know your fixed expenses. You need to know your variable expenses. And then what are your goals, dreams, desires, and passions? And that's where you put your money. Stop budgeting. Stop creating limitations. Stop creating scarcity. Stop manifesting all those things into your life and be like, hey, I want to go on this vacation. I'm going to start putting $100 a month. And when there's enough money to go on that vacation, I'm going to go on that vacation and I'm going to spend every freaking penny in that account because that's what it's planned for. I want to pay my car off. I want to remove these credit cards. I want to have $100 a month to blow on whatever the heck it is that I want. I want to buy a new t-shirt. I want to buy clothes. I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to X, Y, and Z. I want the new phone. And I want the freaking $1,800 phone. I'm going to save $100 a month until I got it. There's no guilt. There's no budgeting. There's no frustration because you planned. If your income is taking care of your fixed expenses, taking care of your variable expenses, saving and investing and growing and doing everything that it is that you need and want to do, and you plan to enjoy, and all of your bases, your whole life is covered, your wealth, your prosperity grew, and you enjoyed, you're winning. There's no guilt. We have literally had experiences where my wife's like, hey, we're going here. There's $400. I've been looking at this. It's $370. You want to do it? I'm like, frick yeah, let's do it. Because we planned that money for that. Let's go. Let's enjoy it. That's how you get your finances under control, is you put yourself in the driver's seat. I'm telling my money what to do and where to go and when to go and how to go. That's the position you need to get yourself into. And then once you know those things and you're like, okay, I'm doing really well, but it's not enough. How do I increase my income? And you increase your income and you already know what to do with the money. You will make more money by doing this automatically because more money is going to be attracted to you because you're going to learn the principle of money is either going to be told what to do or it's going to go find somebody else that will. So by you putting yourself in a position, you win. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is today's show. It is January 27th, 2026. My name is Jared Briggs. This is the Jared Briggs Show. We talked about this is the problem. Personal accountability. What are you doing with your time? What are you putting your effort and your action towards? And what are you focusing on? And then also the money reset. Know your income. Create a plan of where your money is going and what it is doing and what you want to accomplish. And then we answered a bunch of online questions about money, life insurance, debt, and a bunch of different things. So go back and listen into those things. If you guys get value from this, I would love to hear from you. If you have questions, I would also love to hear from you and add value any way that I can. You guys have a wonderful day. Have the best day ever. And remember, be the master of your life. Catch you tomorrow.